Hello and welcome to today's video. And today we are going to be doing a guide on For Honor. Now I am not like a professional, you know, I'm not like high ranking or anything, but I do have couple hundred hours on the game, and I've played basically since it's been out, so I know a thing or two. And this is a basic starter guide to the game. So like if you're a veteran or you've played a long time, this might not be too useful. You could learn a thing or two, but this is going to be very basic. So this is more for you newer players. So starting off, there's a couple differences and a couple things you have to think about with the game. Because the game has a lot of stuff in it. It is very complicated at times. And the best way I would describe it is it's almost like Mortal Kombat or like Street Fighter, right? You have the different heroes, and there is a specific set of stuff that's the same, in this case, heavies, lights, that kind of stuff. But each character is different in how fast they attack, what their heavy and lights and stuff are, and all heroes have chains and different chains and like combos. So it can be quite complicated. So we're going to split this up into sections. So the first section is going to be what all the heroes have in common. So this is stuff that you'll find with every single hero no matter what hero you play. So I'm going to be using Warden for this demonstration because it's a Vanguard. It's very, basic and easy. So basically, to lock on to an enemy, you've got to press and hold L2. I am doing this on the PS4. I don't know the controls of it for PC. I've barely played it. I think like you hold shift and stuff. And it's pretty basic to, L2 is LT, on the Xbox, so just follow along with me with that. But yeah, so you lock onto the enemy by pressing and holding L2. And then, as you can see, you have your indicator. So you use the right joystick to move where your indicator is. And your enemy will be doing the same thing. So like if this indicator is on my right, and I attack from the right, it's going to block it, not do much damage. But, if you attack from a different side, it's going to do that. And there's two different types of attacks. And the first is using R1, and it is a light attack. It is quick. It doesn't do a lot of damage, but it is quick. Your second one is a heavy attack, which you press by doing R2. You'll see it's a lot longer to do, but it does more damage. And it is, that's kind of the two main attacking types, is, your light and then your heavy. Now, the next thing is guard breaking. What guard breaking is when you are locked onto the enemy and you're having a really hard time attacking because they just keep blocking everything, or it's just a good opener type thing, but pressing square will guard break them, which grabs them. Now, when you grab them like that, you have different options. The first thing you can do is you can grab them and then just light attack. That's the quickest, easiest thing to do. I'm gonna just change the opponent's health real quick. There you go. So you can just do a quick light attack, bam. You can also then guard break and do a heavy attack. And then lastly, you can guard break and throw them. So you're near a ledge, you can throw them off the ledge, anything like that. Another thing that all heroes can do is dodging. You can dodge backwards, forwards, left, and right. You can dodge attacks, you can dodge certain things. It's a good way if you want to get a little bit away from the enemy. And another thing that all heroes can do is if you double tap the dodge button backwards, you will roll, which clears a lot more distance and is a lot better for getting away from attacks. And the final thing that all heroes can do is a zone attack, which is this. Each character has a completely different zone attack. How you do it is you press R2 and R1 together and you perform the zone attack. It takes up the most stamina, and it can be used to catch your enemies off guard because it's usually fast, and also your zone can hit multiple people. So if you're in a game mode where there's multiple people around you, you can zone and you have the chance of hitting multiple of them. And yeah, that's basically all of the fighting moves that all the heroes share in common. Now, there are a couple basic tips for all the heroes and kind of the fundamentals, right? So, clearly, all enemies, everyone has health. I turned his health off, but, you attack them, they die, I have health. It's that, like, kind of white bar for me. It's kind of that bluish bar. That is your health. Now your green bar is your stamina. Both of you have stamina. Every move you do costs stamina, except for the light dodges. But you attack, that costs stamina. You guard break, stamina. Everything costs stamina. You zone, stamina. And then so you're out of stamina. What out of stamina does is now my attacks are much, much slower. And there's a couple other things without stamina, but that's kind of the basicness of it. And that is some of the core concepts of the attack. Now there is one last thing that all heroes can do, mostly, depending on certain things, and that is a technique called feinting. And what feinting is you go for an attack, but you stop the attack. And it is very simple, as by doing your attack and then pressing circle, and you cancel it. Now, only certain moves can be feinted, such as your heavy. All heavies can be feinted, but your light attack can't. No matter what you do, it can't be feinted. Some zones have 2 attacks, and some of them can be feinted. One's like the Wardens, it just has 1 attack, cannot be feinted. Once you press it, you're fully committed. And that is officially all of the basic core comments and core things that everyone shares. The next thing we'll be going over is defensive stuff. And we'll get right into that. So, the next set of things we're going to be learning is defense. Because while you can attack your enemy can attack you too. Now, the way this is shown is with the red indicator, like so. They attack from a side, and you have to match that side. Like, he attacked my left, I press over to my left. See there, it's relatively simple. Now, there's multiple ways to do this. Is basically, you see the red indicator, or the kind of the way they're moving, and you block. Now, what you can also do is dodge. So they attack, you can dodge out of the way, which can be useful and open up for other attacks. You also gotta be careful like that, because it can still hit you. So you have to time it right. It's a timing thing. You'll get used to it. It's relatively straightforward though. They attack, you block. So the last way of blocking the attack is by parrying. It is very useful, and you do it by pressing the heavy attack button, so R2, right before attack hits you, or right when you see the indicator change. So you can see right there, right when he's about to hit you, the red indicator becomes a darker red and kind of gets a little bit bigger. So that's kind of how you can tell and know when to press the heavy button to parry. And parrying kind of staggers them back a little bit, and it leaves you open for an attack. The way I kind of see it though, and you'll get better at the more you play and do, is less by the indicator and more by when the attack is about to hit. Like, I kind of have a hard time of just memorizing, the indicator. I do a mixture between just memorizing how long the attack is and just kind of like when it's right about to hit you, you press the button to parry the attack. And heavy attacks are extremely easy to parry, but light attacks are a lot harder to parry. Okay, so the last thing we're going to talk about for your basic training is how to do an execution. Now, to do an execution, your enemy has to be low, and you have to kill them with a heavy attack. And it'll pop up this screen to press square or triangle. You then, well, obviously press square or triangle, and you do an execution. It will not work if you do it on a light attack. So like if I get him real low, and then I kill him with light attack, that won't pop up and he'll just die. But if I attack him with my heavies, and then kill him with a heavy, that'll pop up. Also, if you have more than 2 executions, they can be assigned to pressing and holding square or pressing and holding triangle, so you can have up to 4 different executions equipped at a time. Yeah, it's pretty useful. And that will be it for the For Honor Beginner's Guide. Stay tuned for part 2, which we will then talk about more things like option select and maximum punishment and things like that. They get into a little bit more advanced For Honor techniques and tactics. I hope you enjoyed the video and learned something new from it. If you did, consider leaving a like and subscribing, and I will see you in the next video.